The Nerd Academy podcast is released weekly at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, available on our website at www.thenerdacademypodcast.com and wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. You can also help support the show by going to patreon.com/The Nerd Academy podcast, where every donation allows us to bring you more exciting content every week.
Good morning, class, and welcome back to the Nerd Academy Podcast, your source for nerddom news and commentary. Real quick programming note for this week. There will be a bonus episode of Number One Contender coming out on Wednesday. That will be Travis and my free-for-all recap. So stay tuned for that for anybody who listens to Number One Contender. And on Friday, a special bonus episode of TNAP Proper will be coming out. That'll be my review of the Mortal Kombat movie with Armin from Comic Book Cast. So stay tuned for those, along with an episode of Campus Life and the Usual Knights of the Nerd Republic, and another episode of Number One Contender. But enough of that. Joining me, as always, we have your resident Green Lantern, Professor Travis Grossman.
Hello.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Canless.
He's canless. Oh, God. Oh, the humanity.
Mostly
Well,
by
maybe
choice, because I didn't feel like going down to get another one, and I finished this one already, so.
I'm sure you'll do okay. And as also joining us is the Themysciran princess, the Sokovian witch. We got Alexis Capel.
I don't know if you heard that.
We did.
But
We did hear it, and you are continuing a can-cracking legacy. Thank you very much. It would have felt wrong if we didn't have one. We are light on news this week, but we have one hell of a season finale for Falcon and the Winter Soldier to talk about. You know what? I'm going to do the first story into a dovetail into Falcon and the Winter Soldier talk. I think that belongs there, logically speaking. So our first story this week broke pretty much right after we were done recording. No, the day of the episode going out. I apologize. Exclusive per Variety. Emilia Clarke is in final negotiations to join Marvel Studios' Secret Invasion, the most likely Skrull villain-based show starring Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury. We had the news about Olivia Colman last week, and now we have Emilia Clarke of Game of Thrones and Solo: A Star Wars Story fame coming into the fold here. Kind of a very straightforward story here. Very exciting. She's a high-profile actor, very good at what she does. If I'm not mistaken, she made a passing comment while Game of Thrones was ending and Solo was coming out that she was like, you know what, I think I'm done with big franchises for now. And that did not last very long because I don't know anybody who's going to say no to mouse money. So
That includes us. Please give us money, Mouse.
Yes, please. We already review your stuff so well. Like, just pay us for it. Don't make a liar out of the fandom menace. That was one of the moments where I became really proud of us was during the Gina Carano debacle while arguing with dipshits online. We were levied with the "you get paid to say nice things" by Disney. And I was like, you know what? That's a sign that we're doing the right thing. When the assholes claim that you're being paid by the mouse, it's good stuff. But yeah, like I said, everybody pretty much knows her for playing Daenerys Targaryen in Game of Thrones and Kira in Solo: A Star Wars Story. Exciting stuff.
Quick question. Not about that.
Yes.
But am I laggy?
Not really. No.
No, because for a hot second I was like,
Yeah.
So,
Not to me.
Not to
okay.
me either.
Yeah.
Penn State Wi-Fi. So pardon if something happens.
Nah, you're good. Listen, anybody who's still here after the first 2 months of the lockdown episodes, God bless you. So that is understandable. Also, quick story here to do with the industry, since we talk about this kind of stuff. And, I wanted to cover the Oscars on Movie Club. However, there was kind of not enough time in the day to get that ready. So Oscars next year for Movie Club, except a very big push for that. That'll also be happening in February, and it'll be a lot easier to do as opposed to April. But the Oscars were last night at time of record. Real quick, getting into the controversy, this goes for every year. But this year, more than any year, fuck the Motion Picture Academy. All of you. Jeff, the Insider Snyder, was making I don't know if this is like a current Twitter campaign going on or if he kind of said it, and I hope it does catch on if it hasn't yet. Release the Oscar ballots. I want to see who all voted and who all voted how. I really do want to know how the hell we arrived at what happened. I want to talk to the producers. I want to talk to everybody who staged the event. Travis, I'm assuming you did not watch the Oscars last night.
The only reason I knew they were happening at all was because Dan Merle was live streaming it. And I did not watch his live stream, but that was how I knew the Oscars were happening.
I watched his live stream while I was closing at the bar after watching the Oscars. It was a good show. So for those of you who don't know, those of you who skipped the Oscars this year and aren't familiar with what happened,
I did breeze through the winners a little bit before, like a couple hours ago, but to give you an idea of how much I cared, I don't remember anything about it.
So they did a weird setup. It wasn't at the usual venue. From what I understand, they were cycling people in and out. So like there weren't people in the same room for too long. It was very the way that people have been working on shoots right now, where masks off if the cameras are on, masks on if they're off. In the process, they cut a lot of the clips from the movies that were nominated. They didn't do the this is why we love filmmaking montages, which, as self-flagellating as those are, I do like those ones. I know a lot of people don't like the random, just here's a bunch of clips from a bunch of movies that came out this year just because we love movies. That's the shit I like. I do like when the Oscars get to that, we're just celebrating the concept of movies. I enjoy that. I understand why people don't, because it pads out the show unnecessarily. It kind of felt like the whole night was based around the death of Chadwick Boseman, including the disgusting in memoriam that was set to a really weirdly upbeat Stevie Wonder track. So the music was kind of off. And then they tried to sync up. It felt like they tried to sync up the in memoriam, the images, with the music. So these names and faces are going by. There's barely a second to process whose face and whose name you're looking at. Again, no clips in the in memoriam either. And off the top of my head, the big three, and obviously, they're it's kind of weird to kind of let's rank the filmmakers who died last year kind of thing. But objectively speaking, the three that you kind of expected this in memoriam to stop and show clips for, which is a thing that they've done every year. Cecily Tyson, Sean Connery, and obviously Chadwick Boseman. They did not show any clips for anybody. Cecily Tyson was at the very beginning, and because it was going by so fast, you barely got to see her face. They zoomed through all of them, and then they held a little bit longer and lingered on Sean Connery and Chadwick Boseman. And again, I was talking to my mom when I came home from work. We were talking about it, and she said the same thing, where it's the fact that they didn't show clips for those three, show, the Diary of Miss Jane Pittman for Tyson, a Black Panther clip for Boseman, and a Bond thing for Connery, right? But there's that, and then they restructured the order of the awards. They put Best Director in the middle of the show, and then so that's one of the big four in the middle, and then they restructured the final big three, so it went Best Picture, Best Leading Actress, Best Actor. And obviously, with the producers and people who staged this, assuming Chadwick Boseman would win a posthumous Best Actor Oscar.
Yeah,
it went to Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, like, because I knew he didn't win. Because again, I did look through the things and I was like, oh, that's weird. He didn't win Best Actor. Usually they would, I didn't know that they also like set up tonight to be like Chadwick Boseman,
Yeah, so they were like doing this weird clout chasey shit around Chadwick and like his memory, and on top of that, and this is just the part that grosses me out the most. Travis, you want to know what was in the goodie bags?
I mentioned it to him, but I don't think he realized what it was.
No,
Lexi, I'll let you take it away because you got viscerally angry when I said this last night.
He called me last night. We were talking about the Oscars, and I had no idea they were even on. I was like this when he told me. The goodie bags had NFTs of Chadwick's face in them. That seems so like it's just kind of rude, like that's not really honoring anything really. Like they could have did a little more during the actual Oscars, and then maybe it would have been okay. But it's like they barely touched on him. They didn't give him Best Actor or whatever the award was. I forget, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
You're right, Best Actor.
And then, here, have an NFT of Chadwick Boseman. Instead, they just went, here's his face. Like,
see, we liked him.
It was just all of these decisions are just mind-boggling, And again, and Dan Merle, his live stream put it better than I ever could. And I'm just going to paraphrase what he said, and then we're going to talk about the awards and then move on. It just the in memoriam was the moment the night truly fell apart.
That's
because like, it was awkward at times, because like instead of showing clips, like he brought up one of my favorite moments of the night historically, which is the Best Screenplay award, where they like show the screenplay being typed out while the scene is going on. And there's like a voice dubbing over it with like the stage directions and shit. I love that. None of that. No clips for the actors, anything. What they did do was do this weird like, and here are the nominees and like how they fell in love with movies. And like, that's pre-show shit. I'm sorry. Save that for the pre-show. That's cute shit for the pre-show. It just felt weird. It felt like it was taking longer to get to the point than showing clips of the movies that were nominated. So there's that. And then there was like this weird moment where they were playing like Name That Tune. And then Glenn Close, it wasn't like Name That Tune so much as it was like, was the song nominated for a Best Song Oscar, one or none of the above? Was kind of the game
like
they were playing.
The thing that they play before movies? When movies were a thing at the theater? Like, the Coca-Cola.
The little trivia games or whatever?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Halfway through the show, just abruptly, they're just like, and then they got to Glenn Close, and then they played Debut. And then it was like, Glenn Close was like, I know this song. It's Da Butt. It was from this Spike Lee movie. And then like Glenn Close did Da Butt. And, you know, in hindsight, if this fumble hadn't have happened with all the weird Chadwick shit, the moment of the night would have been Da Butt. Because it was hysterical, you know, in the same way that like we still have that gif of Meryl Streep just going, like that's still in the zeitgeist.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that like forever there just would have been gifs of Glenn Close doing Da Butt, and then I would spend the rest of my life not knowing which one pointed and which one did Da Butt because Glenn Close and Meryl Streep are the same person. But yeah, it was such a train wreck. But yeah, we had time for Name That Tune. What we didn't have time for was clips during In Memoriam.
Like actually recognizing
Yeah. Like
these actors and actresses.
That's
and not just actors and actresses, writers, producers, set hands, people who work across the industry in all the little different jobs that they have that make them a part of the Motion Picture Academy. Absolutely disgusting. He's just so disappointing.
It's embarrassing.
It truly is. It truly is. Like, and that's the sad thing is that aside from that, like, because this whole kerfuffle with Chadwick Boseman has dominated the discourse about the Oscars, what's getting kind of overlooked is that this is one of the most diverse winners ever. Like running down the list, like Best Picture directed by a woman, obviously Best Actress is going to go to a woman, but like Best Supporting Actress, you know, went to Minari. So that's an Asian person. Daniel Kaluuya won for Judas and the Black Messiah for supporting role.
I did see that.
Director of the upcoming MCU movie, The Eternals, Chloe Zhao, who directed Nomadland, also won for Best Director. This is the second woman to win Best Director in 80-some years. It's the second. She stands only with Catherine Bigelow for The Hurt Locker. That's big. I think it's Bigelow. It could have been Greta Gerwig, but I'm 99% sure it's Bigelow. Soul won Best Animated Feature. You know, like Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, costume design. Like Fight for You won Best Original Song. That's her. There's a lot. There's a very, very diverse. There's records set with Zhao's win and the win for Nomadland. Like this was a big night for like it not just being white people winning every goddamn award like it is every year. And then everything fell apart because of how weirdly exploitative they wanted to be about Chadwick Boseman's death. Like all the wheels fell off at the end there because you clearly wanted to make a moment out of it. And because the producers
made a moment though. That's the thing. Like they didn't make a moment in the right way. They barely even like, from the sounds of it, they barely, like they could have done something totally different to honor him and like be respectful and whatever and like recognize his talent. But instead it was just like
in the goddamn In Memoriam show, like let's not for like we again like this is the nerd comic book movie show, so like yeah we're gonna like gravitate towards Black Panther. Dude played James Brown and Jackie Robinson.
Yep.
Like what? At what point? Like he's like and then the tragic part about his death is that he was so young, right? So like in that In Memoriam, while you're showing clips, because it's so heartbreaking, because he was this young dude that like he caught everybody off guard. Like show him as T'Challa, show him as Jackie Robinson, show him as James Brown, because like he made an impact. He was on the road to being one of the, if not the most prolific actor of our time. He was up there. Maybe not the, but definitely in the conversation. You know, like there is just so like, and exactly what you said, Alexis. Like you tried to make a moment out of it and then you made it weird. And I brought this up to you and we were talking about it. Like, flashback to the 2009 Oscars when Heath Ledger died. Or not when he died, but like the Oscars that happened after his death and after his nomination for The Dark Knight. They still did Best Supporting Actor super early into the show like they always do.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened because of that is there was a very heavy moment in the beginning of the show to honor Heath Ledger, honor his career, and then honor his performance as the Joker. It was such a bad decision to try to put Best Actor last because you're not fooling anyone as to why you did it that way. It's the same reason why you drop Best Director into the middle of the show, because you know people are going to go, oh shit, this is a big one. You know, people started nodding off, people started channel surfing, you know, during, you know, documentary feature, documentary short, right? So this time we're going to like drop one of the big four right in the middle of the show and hit people with Best Director. And then you're kind of like honed back in. And then Glenn Close does the butt, you know, you're like, they had a strategy here that, like, in part,
they thought they could half-ass their end of it because, like you said, you put that at the end. Chadwick wins. He a speech, a very emotional speech is given on his behalf. Everyone, you know, the room feels it, and that's like when you get to celebrate him is that he wins this Best Actor award, and then that didn't happen. And so you have all these we did all these tiny things and they were like very half-assed things. And this was going to be the moment. And that didn't happen.
And on top of that, and again, like, none of this is Anthony Hopkins' fault.
No, not even a little bit.
But the like middle finger icing on top of this disrespectful ass cake is that Anthony Hopkins wasn't fucking there. He posted his acceptance speech to Instagram this morning from Wales, which again is fine.
Yeah.
The producers knew. The producers would have known who was coming and who wasn't, and they still ran the risk that somebody would not be there to physically hold that award. Had it gone to anyone else, because the only two nominees who weren't in the room were Anthony Hopkins and Chadwick Boseman. If anybody else had won, if Riz Ahmed had won, anyone else, they would have dedicated it to Chadwick. There still would have been a moment where they made the conscious decision to talk about Chadwick Boseman. Even Anthony Hopkins did. It's the most recent post on his Instagram. Like, he's like, you know, thank you. He's like, I truly was not expecting to win this. I'm honored. I'm privileged. And, you know, we need to call attention to Chadwick Boseman, who was taken from us far too early. And like the middle, oh my God, how is this? Like, I normally say this as a joke, but like, I 100% mean it right now. Someone needs to be fired for the decisions that were made that night.
He's very lazy.
Like, I'm getting like really heated talking about it again. Like, I cannot believe this shit was allowed to fly at all. Like, too many people had to approve the flow of this show for them to agree on half-assed in memoriam. And then we're going to gamble on who wins the clearly intended to be big finish Best Actor nomination. Shame on the Academy.
Take a breather.
The story pisses me off so much because I love the Oscars. I know everybody hates them. And I understand why people hate the Oscars. Right? Like, if it's not the worst possible option winning awards, you get weird shit like Green Book, you know, that like people are like, oh, it's about like repairing like the strained racial relations in the country. And it's like this weird movie where it's like, hi, this ignorant white guy and his black best friend fix racism because he went, oh, hey, these black people aren't too bad. Like, yes, that's the best picture. That's the deserving best picture winner. Or you get shit like the Moonlight La La Land nonsense from a few years back. Or you get shows that are just so objectively bad, like Franco and Anne Hathaway hosting. Fuck. Okay, I'm done. We're done talking about the Oscars now. I'm sorry. I enjoy that ceremony too much, and I'm angry. And not that, this will not show up in the lives of anybody in the Boswick family, but sincerest apologies. And I'm sorry you had to see that shit, man. That was repugnant. Moving on. Our last story that will dovetail into Falcon and the Winter Soldier talk. On the day of the premiere of the finale for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we got official announcement that Malcolm Spellman, who is already the showrunner for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the showrunners of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I should say, Dylan Mousson and Malcolm Spellman, are developing a fourth Captain America movie with Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson in the lead. This goes a long way, Travis, all the way back to San Diego Comic-Con back in the Hall of Heroes days. We had that conversation about, we're finally breaking the rule of trilogies in the MCU with Thor, Love and Thunder. And that excites me a lot because I hated the fact that, like, once you got to Iron Man 3, no more solo Iron Man movies, because we like that shiny 3. We like trilogies. And kind of thought that would apply to Thor and Cap. And, my biggest fear, Spider-Man would only get 3 movies. And it looks like that rule is pretty much dead and in the dirt. I almost forgot another very big story now that I said Spider-Man. Holy shit.
I just remembered it too. So before we get into talking about this, 2 weeks ago we were like, there's no way we're getting the Disney Plus premiere access for Spider-Man.
Aren't you so glad
Netflix?
Aren't you so glad this happened in the reverse this time? Where we said we're never going to get this good thing.
Well, it's not guaranteed yet. But so part of the Netflix deal that Sony signed was that if someone wanted to pay more, they could get rights to certain things. Like, they weren't locked into only Netflix. And so Disney, having mouse money, was like, no. We keep our Spider-Man. We want that. So we are getting the MCU, at least the MCU Spider-Man movies on Disney Plus.
So the verbiage I have, sorry, what were you saying, Travis?
I was just saying that I didn't read any real articles. I just saw the headlines everywhere.
Disney has reached a huge movie licensing deal with Sony Pictures for the U.S., one that promises to bring Spider-Man and other Spidey-related Marvel properties to Disney Plus. Okay. So not only will that be the Raimi trilogy, the Amazing trilogy, that's also Spider-Verse, Morbius, and hopefully, depending on how the rights shake out, we might actually finally get Spectacular Spider-Man streaming somewhere. And I've been very much wanting to revisit that show over the past few years. Things. It's incredible. Best Spider-Man cartoon theme, bar none. But yeah, this is big stuff. It also seems like Disney and Sony are on really good terms with the Spider-Man situation. So on top of a Captain America 4, looks like we might be getting a Spider-Man 4, 5, 6. Cap it off at 6, kill off Peter in 6 with the Sinister Six thing, and then bring in Miles is what I'm saying. No, I'm kidding. Don't kill Peter for realsies, because I will have a hysterical episode, because I could barely handle it in Infinity War, and I knew he wasn't dead for real.
Yeah, so this means we might be fine. Like, I get why before they were saying only in theaters. I think they would be stupid not to run Premiere Access, because, like, we both saw Far From Home twice in theaters, right?
Shit, I think I saw it like 4 or 5 times.
Okay, well,
I know
saw
you
it
and I
twice
saw it
together.
twice. I think we saw it twice together.
Yeah, because we took Spencer the second time. And I know that putting it on Premier Access, that would be, because Black Widow would do good, right? Black Widow's going to do good. You want to push the limits on Premier Access, you're putting a definite $1 billion blockbuster. Like, Far From Home made $1 billion. There's no way, with everything we've heard about what's going to be in No Way Home, it would make at least $1 billion. Right? And all those tickets now ratchet up to $30 per.
For comparison, Godzilla versus King Kong having a day and date release on HBO Max and in theaters. And again, theaters are different now. You know, back when Travis and I saw New Mutants and Tenet, and, you know, followed that up with whenever we all went to see The Empire Strikes Back, numbers were in a slightly more comfortable place to be doing that kind of thing. Then they got bad again. But now we're moving into the period where most of the country is about to be vaccinated.
Vaccine.
I'm
glad you said it before I did.
Most of the country has been vaccinated. The world's slowly getting back to normal here. So, because Travis, I think you and I both thought the vaccine rollout was not going to be quite where it is by now.
I still don't think so. Like, I don't even think by the end of the year they should stop doing. Like, we're not going to see any kind of real recovery for box office for a long time. Even though it's better. I mean, you know, we're getting a lot of walk-up appointments at my local, you know, my store.
Yeah.
So it's better. And I think now the thing's going to be the people that don't want to get vaccinated, right? Which is probably going to be an issue. But I still think they need to put Spider-Man on Disney Plus.
I agree with you. And I think and again, these are not one-to-one comparisons, but gross box office for Godzilla versus King Kong, where, like, again, the only money this movie's making is directly making is from box office. It's clocking in at almost 87 million. Rounding it up, because it's at $86,666,076. So round that up, that's an $87 million box office for a movie that's just like, you know, would probably be second or third depending on what was coming out next to it, right?
It would be definitely the best performing, you know, there's no way to really tell because we don't know what would be coming out right now alongside it, you know, other projects, but it would be doing really well. And I mean, Mortal Kombat this weekend did like 22 million at the box office.
Yeah. For an R-rated movie too. So like factor that in, that it has the hamstring of being rated R.
I think the Demon Slayer movie was right behind it. Like, yeah, like Mortal Kombat just squeaked out the box office win on it, but still, you know.
Yeah. And granted, and again, these are franchise things though that are doing well at the box office because it has the dedicated fan base. You know, You got the MonsterVerse people, you got the Mortal Kombat fans, you have the people who like the Demon Slayer anime. Like, there's a lot there that kind of propels that forward. So, factoring in the people who are able, willing, and comfortable with going to a movie theater, plus potential premium access, where we then get into the example we gave before, where it's like, okay, whole family wants to go see Spider-Man. Well, on top of going to the theater during a pandemic, regardless of whether or not you're vaccinated, I said it right, and then I convinced myself I said vaccinated again. Regardless of whether or not you're all vaccinated, you can still be carriers. There's all those issues. So big family, let's say a 5. It's the same example we've been giving since the beginning of the pandemic last year. You can drop $30 to just have the movie on Disney Plus, or you can drop the $120 to get everybody a drink, everybody popcorn, get some candy, maybe go out to eat before or after, gas money, tickets. Like you cut so much cost to just get the movie for $30 and order a fucking pizza. Right? For a big family, like if they don't put it on Premier Access, it's free money. You know, people like us, it's like by then, Travis, you'll be vaccinated. I'm vaccinated. Lexi will likely be vaccinated. Everybody in our whole group, for Christ's sake, is going to be vaccinated. Right? So like by December, probably wouldn't be that terrifying for us to go, like bring out the whole family to go see Spider-Man at the end of the year. It's kind of one of the only things I'm like super looking forward to this year because there's still not a whole lot going on and there's still a lot of shit up in the air. But like Spider-Man's the one consistent thing that's most likely here to stay. Like I'm really looking forward to that. So we'll be able to go see Spider-Man. And then like half of the people in the TNAP, fam here share a Disney Plus account in the first goddamn place. So all it'll take is me buying Premier Access because we all know I'm going to watch the movie 18 goddamn times in one day because I can. It's free money. It's free money. This like they would be out of their goddamn minds to not lease this onto Premier Access.
Absolutely.
You know, and I don't know what the split is, but if this does, even if this slightly underperforms Far From Home, it is still like Scrooge McDuck money. like again, Far From Home broke $1 billion, and it was still competing with fucking Endgame. And Endgame was just still doing that slow creep, was still breaking records left and right throughout its entire release. I don't think Endgame left theaters until like July. Because it was just the smart move to leave it in theaters and just let it sit there.
Yeah. The other thing too is I don't think they'll release how much money they make off Premier Access, which if they did would be really interesting, but they're not that stupid.
No.
But so there's that.
There's that. Back to the Captain America thing.
This is what I expected to come out. Not even after like seeing the finale, just where it looked like the finale was heading. And this is why you shared with us that thing of what did they submit it to, the Golden Globes or the Emmys?
The Emmys.
Emmys. They didn't submit it as a limited series, meaning there was a potential for a season 2. And I held to there not being a season 2 because that would involve the name still being Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Right. And unless some wackadoodle shit happened that we didn't know about, there was no way we were coming out of that finale without a proper new Captain America. So
yeah. Out of curiosity, Travis, I'll ask you, and then I'm going to pitch to Lexi here. What do you want to see from a Cap 4?
I don't fucking know, dude. I'm not going to pretend like I have any idea what they're doing at this point. This might also be the project they got Chris Evans back for.
The Deadline article does mention that they cannot confirm whether or not this is the one he's working on. But according to sources, it looks like it is not.
Okay.
But also, I would not be surprised if they're... Yeah. While not confirmed, sources say the project Spellman is writing could be the one focused on Anthony Mackie, Sam Wilson character, while the possibility of Chris Evans' Captain America project would be separate.
then maybe Chris, like, we kept hearing all those people ask if Steve Rogers was on the moon. Maybe he's up in the sword base, up in space, and we're gonna get Agent Rogers. Shield Agent Rogers.
I would love that if there was actually like a kernel of truth to that, and he was in space with Fury.
Maybe that's what they're hinting at. I don't know.
That would be really funny. I'd like that a lot. Now that we're seeing the star power that they're bringing on for Secret Invasion, my gut is telling me Chris Evans shows up in Secret Invasion and someone is masquerading as Steve Rogers. And that like we might get a Steve v. Sam fight. And like that'll be the big moment. Like even though it's a Skrull, it still looks cool to see them both going head to head. But that's where my money is on where Chris Evans shows up. I could be wrong. I could very well be wrong, but that's what my gut's telling me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna go with that. But Lexi, you're kind of nodding along at Travis's. I don't know what the hell.
I have no clue.
Yeah,
I have no idea. I really don't. I don't have anything for you.
I don't know. There's like a couple different routes I would want to see, for me at least. Like, part of me wants to see a situation where Zemo is actually the main villain. Which, no complaints about that, about how Zemo is in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But marketing really made us think that Zemo was at the center of everything that was happening and that he was the big bad. And I would not mind a story that is Zemo finishing his work. There's also the fact that it seems like, like they say in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Sokovia was basically eaten up by all the other bordering nations. So, there's plenty of motive for him there. Again, I am not going to stop bringing in the Doctor Doom angle that, like, he's an easy ticket to introducing Latveria.
Mm-hmm.
I like to see that. I know that whenever the third Captain America movie was announced, they half jokingly said that the villains would be the Serpent Society.
Yeah.
And like, I kind of really want to see him pull the trigger on that and just get like, and I want to see them lean into it completely and just have it be a bunch of crooks dressed like snakes. Like, just go all the way in with it at this point. Cause like people will buy it. No one gives a shit anymore. Give us the weird stuff. There's a lot of interesting ways you can do. Again, we don't have there's obviously no release date projected for this. So like by then, like when we'll talk about this with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier talk, this could very well be a conflict with the Thunderbolts / Dark Avengers, whichever route they take that name, that the nomenclature there. That could be, with Walker getting set up here, he could be leading a team of Dark Avengers. And they have the villains already who are still alive poised to be a part of that team. But we'll talk more about that in Falcon and the Winter Soldier talk, assuming I remember to come back to it. But with that, we're going to jump in to our review of the final episode, which is weirdly the lowest rated one on Rotten Tomatoes by a factor of 40%. Not to be the guy who's going to go tinfoil hat here, but something tells me Phantom Menace review bomb.
Yep, and I know exactly what did it too. Beyond the fact that, it stars a black guy.
The speech.
But yeah, if you want to pitch to Lexi first, I'm going to go pee.
Okay, I can do that.
So this was just upfront thoughts. Sorry, my step already fisted were messaging me, so I was reading that. Not to be.
No, you're good.
I didn't quite hear what was going on.
No, we're doing Falcon and the Winter Soldier talk, and Travis pitched to you because he had to pee.
Oh, okay. So nothing detailed yet, right? Just
Yes,
upfront thoughts, or
yeah.
I did a lot of crying. Maybe because I'm emotional at this point of the month, or what? But, I think regardless, I would have cried anyway. But like,
Oh, absolutely.
I had
it on any
that
given
feeling
Tuesday.
in my chest that I was just wanting to heave. It did what it had to do. I'm intrigued. I want more, and I didn't know that it was gonna leave me wanting more. That's why I was like, I don't think they're gonna do a season 2. I don't think they're gonna do a movie. Well, maybe a movie. Maybe I did think it was gonna be a movie, but you were talking about season 2 or something like that. And are they gonna do that, or are they just gonna go straight into the movie?
They'll probably go straight into the movie.
I don't think it would be a bad idea to do a second season to hold people over. I feel like I don't know how much of the other MCU projects that are coming up can cover the because there's the thing of you got your street level heroes, your national to international heroes, and then you have the space and cosmic people, right? I don't know if there's enough in that middle tier to flesh out the what's going on with Sword and the other government issues that follow the superhuman community, that whatever Contessa is up to with Walker, and like I said, the potential for the Thunderbolts of the Dark Avengers. There's a lot there that I don't think any of the other shows are really poised to tackle. Because Ms. Marvel's going to be street level, Moon Knight's going to be street level, Secret Invasion's going to be probably a cosmic thing. That's just
I think the issue there would be the amount of time it would take to make the TV. At that point, you might as well just not do the movie. Yeah,
and that's the other thing. It's not knowing what their release timetable looks like is the hard part there.
So sorry.
No, you're good. We interrupted you with speculating on other projects.
Yeah, so I didn't realize, I guess, that it would leave me wanting more, but I want more, and I very much like the new outfits. Bucky and Sam are so god dang cute. I love them so much. You like my name? That'd be funny if they became brother-in-laws.
I agree. I hope that happens.
Yeah. Somehow. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I did a lot of crying. And then are we talking about details? I keep asking you. I don't know if I should. Are we?
You can, yeah. I mean, normally I just
Oh, Sam's suit. He is Captain America, and I'm proud of him. And my original name I was gonna make was either Bucky's Cool Jacket, because I love his leather jacket, or it was gonna be Isaiah Bradley's Firm Handshake, because whenever they were in the museum, and he was tearing up, and they Sam and him shook hands. You saw Sam move when they touched hands. It was a very firm handshake, very heartfelt handshake. The kids, hey kids, I'm your new dad, Bucky. The kids were hanging on his arm and all that stuff. It was just so cute. It was really cute, and it's nice seeing Bucky be friends with a Cap again. So
there was something that really got me right here, and it was not quite crying, but really warm and fuzzy. Is that after Sam gives his speech, and this is on the topic of Bucky being the sidekick of a Captain America again. Is when they're walking away and he goes, "Nice job, Cap," and he like pats him on the shield, and that like me who can't help but like give like read hella into stuff, like the idea that not only is he saying that like to Sam, is that there's kind of a weight that he's like slapping the shield and he's like, "Damn, Steve made a really good choice.
You picked a good one." I'm tearing up.
I know. I'm like getting it.
I can't see. But the Isaiah Bradley stuff got me hard. The speech
That's what
Sam
made me
gave
cry.
got me. I was crying from. I started tearing up when Bucky admitted to the old man about his son, and then like I even teared up a tiny bit with. Wow, what's her name? The redhead. Harley. I wanted to say Katie for some reason. I don't know why. But Harley, yeah, just misunderstood Goyle. And I'm so mad at Sharon. I don't want Sharon to be bad.
Aunt would be so disappointed in her.
I was gonna say that, like Peggy. Horrible. Anything else? I like when Sam was like, "A little birdie told me that you can fly." I thought that was so cute.
We had different reactions to that because I said that's so fucking like cool or cute or whatever I said, and she thought I meant that line, which it is, but also I was watching with subtitles on and didn't realize that they had started crediting Sam as Captain America. Like his name swapped in the script, and I was like, "That's fucking rad."
So I was watching it with subtitles as well, and the best part is like the exact moment where it happens is like, so there's that shot where like they're like talking via like radio or communicator or whatever, and there's that shot where he flies overhead, right? And in that moment in the subtitles it says Sam, like something on my way, whatever the hell he says, and then smashes through the window, hits the flag smasher with the shield, beats the shit out of him, turns around, then the one center, "Who the hell are you?" "I'm Captain America." And then it's from that point on. Because it's right after he says that, they cut back to Sharon and Bucky, and it's like Sam, blah, blah, blah. And then that's the first time where it says Captain America, blah, blah, blah. And it's like literally from that moment is when the subtitles switch. And I giggled like an idiot too.
I kind of still feel bad for Walker. I don't, but I do. And I like seeing them work together a little bit. Like when Bucky and him were looking for Carly and the rest of them down the hallways, it was just kind of like, help them. Don't try to defeat them, Mr. Walker. Just come on. Like, know your place. Know your fucking place. But you can aid them like what you're supposed to do. Sit down. I'm trying to think of something. There was like a few things last night that I was like, okay, I'm going to talk about that. Now it's like all leaving my brain. I don't know. Who's next? Sorry. I'll think of it. You guys will probably stir my brain up. So.
Well, I'll say I want to piggyback on the Walker thing and the subtle character moments for him where it's like, yes, he's doing better. Yes, he's still doing everything kind of for the wrong reasons. Like there's still that undercurrent of revenge there that makes him not worthy. But one of my favorite little things with him is that the most un-Captain America thing he does, second only to is
Are we not allowed to say killing a man?
no, I was trying to think of like a funny way to put it and then couldn't think of like a funny
Murder.
yes. When he did a permanent ouchie to that flag smasher was the way he looked at the truck, he looked at the fire, saw these people were in danger, and chose a one-on-one with Morgenthau. And it's that moment where it's like, you know what, you're here to stop the bad guy before you're choosing the fight over saving people.
Before the car's dangling, like before they drive it away, the first time, they set fire to one of them, and that's when he shows up and he starts fighting, and then she knocks him back and gets in the car and drives away.
Because it's the one that Bucky's trying to break them out of. And again, like there's like a moment with the dialogue where Carly Art kind of sets up what they're about to do with Walker, where she goes, he needs somebody to rescue, like to get him off their tail. And she says, like, give him someone to rescue. And then that's followed up by the fact that Walker looks at this situation and has to make the calculation. Do I save people or do I fight you? And he made the most un-Captain America choice that he could have.
The first time.
Because he did save that truck.
Yeah, and eventually he makes the right decision later and he saves the truck. And, you know, that was a cool moment for him. And I'm very interested in what happens with him next because I'll get to that later.
Anyway, you said Morgenthau really weird. You said it like it was a first and last name. You said Morgenthau. There was like a pause in between it. You said Morgenthau. I was like, who's Morgan? Oh, wait, Carly.
I've caught myself saying Morgenthau a couple times listening back, and I've been like, I'm trying to stop myself from screwing up the name. I'm not having another Quasar. It's never happening again. Not making up names anymore. Morgenthau, yeah.
Thou? Yeah, I thought you just said thou before, and it wasn't.
I said thou with an L by accident.
L. Oh, okay. So it is thou.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I screwed it up before and put an L at the end by accident, and I caught myself doing it, and I had to like make a mental note to not screw it up.
Because you thought it was like Morgenthau.
Yeah. Well, I know it's not, but I said it that way regardless for some reason.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I was just curious.
Your mouth's already kind of there to make the L sound, so you just kind of do it. You know?
Close it on the L. Yeah.
So I was reading through some of the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, and the negative reviews that are there that like have words to them are not people saying that the black man having a point is bad. Surprisingly,
won't go broke.
Because I had Sam's suit spoiled for me a little bit because I was seeing some discourse around the "stop calling them terrorists" line of people going, "But they're terrorists, so you have to call them terrorists," and it's like that is very much not his point. Thank you for proving why you like John Walker. But all of the negative reviews I'm seeing are like, this show wasn't weird enough. There wasn't enough weird shit. And I'm like, really? You wanted there to be what made you think? Like if there wasn't weird shit in WandaVision, I'd be upset because I was like, promise weird shit, right? And even then, people were upset because they were like, oh, the weird shit I wanted wasn't there. If we somehow get Spider-Man No Way Home and it isn't like this weird multiverse extravaganza, I'm going to be off put because that's what I expected, right? I went into this. We all went into this going, this is a show about a guy accepting his new role as you know, Captain America.
It's going to be a political thriller like the other two Cap movies.
I'm like, I'm not expecting magic. I'm not expecting a portal to open up into another timeline where like the 1990s Cap comes out with his puffy Halloween costume.
No, what they were expecting for Falcon and the Winter Soldier is they would just be recreating episodes of MASH.
Ah, okay, I understand. That makes so much more sense now.
And it works because they both have a Hawkeye.
Oh my. Nice. I hate that, but I love it.
I think this is the best episode of the series
Thank you.
by like a wide margin for me.
I'd
I
be
agree.
shaking you in agreement if you were right here. And I say it every time, finale bias. I'm always going to say the last episode of anything is my favorite. But like, I agree with you.
You want to talk about doing Chadwick justice, man? Like Sam giving that speech, cementing like we're gonna have heroes of color.
Yeah.
Proudly. It's fucking rad. It's awesome. That might be the best speech in the MCU.
I just love the fact that like there's that straight up acknowledgement of it. Where it's like I'm a black man wearing the stars and stripes. There's not a whole lot I don't get.
Mm-hmm.
Do it again. Like
Especially because we know that Sam is a more politically charged Captain America, right? Like,
yes.
That's his bit. So seeing him go toe-to-toe with these senators, almost like what Tony Stark did, but in a different way.
Yeah.
Is like that's also one of my favorite things about Iron Man 2 is just watching him give senators the bird and walking out of a courtroom. Glorious.
Fuck you, Mr. Stark. Fuck you.
I love Iron Man. I might watch Iron Man 2 tonight. I'm
thinking the same thing, actually, Travis. I was just thinking the same damn thing.
I will say one thing that this episode was kind of weird about is it had 20 different endings.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
The wrap up with the fight and the like, hey Cap, we got one more flag smasher in the bay. You want to go pick him up? And it's like, I'm always here to help. And he flies off. Okay, end of the episode. Roll credits. Okay, no, we got the follow up with the flag smashers. Okay, sure. Roll credits on that. Nope. Sharon gets her pardon. And
the pardon's post credits, so that can be forgiven.
Oh, was it?
After the flag smashers get car bombed.
We don't know where it ended. Yeah.
Yeah, we get. Okay, that's it. Oh no! Wait, they have to have like Bucky comes to visit. They have their picnic, and which is rad. I love seeing that. But okay, that was a feel good to end the story. Oh nope, there's Walker's new costume. We got.
Oh my god! Talking about like Sam's costume ripped off the page. Oh, the U.S. agent suit looks so good.
Wearing America's real colors, eh? Nazis.
The thing that I hate the most about U.S. Agent as a character is that I hate John Walker as a person, but god damn it, do I love that color scheme. Like, he takes the like, oh, villains always have the coolest outfits thing and just has this sleek black and red. And I am a sucker for black and red. See, most of the stickers right here.
I got like confirmed on a theory I had too that Wyatt Russell is just a very hairy man, and they kept forgetting to like make him shave between scenes. Like he has the Bryan Cranston problem.
Yeah.
Because they had to like, dude had to shave before like every scene of Breaking Bad once he started shaving his head.
That's so funny.
Because dude's a hairy man, and I saw a picture of Wyatt Russell doing interviews, and he just has this massive beard.
He has like the Ben Kissel beard.
And I was like, yep, that's what I expected of him on a daily basis. because you can tell even in like single episodes from scene to scene that are 5 minutes apart, his face goes from clean shaven to like what I have right now. And he gets away with it because he's blonde, but
Yeah,
still very funny.
I forgot what I was going to say, Travis. Let you keep talking because I forgot what I was about to say as a follow-up to that.
I changed my name.
I started laughing. I started laughing at the hairy man thing, and then I looked down, and then like it was a.
I also love that the shield got like shattered immediately. Like it took
And Carly dented it, didn't she?
Yeah.
Well, she dented it. He kept trying to use it, and then it got like broken into the different rings.
I just love that where it's like, dude, you're using aluminum siding to fight a super soldier. What the shit do you think is gonna happen? But also another little fun sound design thing with that. I love how whenever he first goes to do that shield throw, that like she like kicks it away, and it was the sound design where like they didn't give it that cool like noise that the vibranium would make. That it just sounds like I just that kind of noise. Just so anticlimactic. Does not have any of like the heroic sound in anything. It's just, ting. Love that shit. It's the little things.
It lasted 2 seconds.
I know, but like it's just like
no,
it's showing.
I'm saying no.
The shield, like the shield.
The shield lasted 2 seconds.
Aluminum siding versus super soldiers. I'll let the people at home make the decision on the rock, paper, scissors of that one.
I mean, like if the siding is sharp, like if you have like a nice piece of sheet metal and it's sharp enough, you can make that. You could like, that, or like they go to swing at you and you kind of just put it up in the way and you dodge and they kind of like run their hand against it, Give themselves a mean cut.
Check something here. See if I'm going crazy or not.
You're absolutely going crazy.
Well, that's a given.
There's something in my eye and I can't.
That's weird. For some reason, I thought U.S. agent carried like a rectangular shield.
Ew.
All the pictures I'm seeing are him with like a circular one, like caps. I think at one point
I'm gonna carry one that looks like a pentagon.
My heptagon of justice.
My dodeca. What is it? Dodecagon.
My dodecahedron of righteousness.
Yeah.
Okay, but imagine the cutting power of a parallelogram.
That's a parallelogram. Ugh. So it's like.
Oh, okay. I googled U.S. agent. I should have specified Marvel. I did not want to see that. Yummy. That was a man who was severely injured. And not the anti-hero John Walker. Travis, you got anything for initial thoughts? I'm not sleeping tonight.
That's good. I kind of gave mine already, but yeah, it was the best episode of the series for me by far.
Yeah, 100% agree with you guys. I just want to hug Isaiah Bradley.
Oh, me too. A big hug. I want him to be my cool uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm inclined to agree with you. Again, I'm not giving up hope that Eli Bradley gets to be a superhero soon. I really hope,
because they keep giving him screen time and the way they're talking to him and stuff.
Well, he has here.
You need to learn some manners. Oh, he will. You'll teach him.
I'm gonna send you a picture of his outfit in the comics real quick. But whenever he takes up the moniker of Patriot, he is another one of my. He has the weird shaped shield. That's right. It's like a normal shield shape. Not the circle. Absolutely love Eli's outfit. So hopefully we get to see him in action as well soon, taking point from his grandpa. But yeah, I got a lot of like super excited moments from the episode. I never really crossed that boundary because it's like it is not hard to like have like a heartfelt scene that makes me cry. That yeah.
Oh, I tried.
It is not hard to have a heartfelt scene that makes me cry. However, it is very hard for me to start crying from excitement. And I didn't quite get to that threshold here with this episode. However, in terms of heartfelt scenes, like Alexis had said earlier, that scene in the Captain America Smithsonian thing, oh my God. It was just like, part of it was like Isaiah's cry is such a real person cry. Like it's very much like we've all seen like adult men kind of have that like it's all like right here, like there's a shake going on right here where they're like, oh God, my heart hurts. I'm feeling things, damn it. And there's just that like it's like and it kind of works its way up to the face. It was such a good performance on his part and just completely took that scene from great to fantastic and just broke my heart. In a good way, in a happy way. I hate Sharon being the power broker. I really do. Sharon being the power broker and Carly dying are my two biggest I don't like it type stuff here. The episode's really solid and I love it. But those two things I think are just decisions I don't know that I would have made. I understand killing off Carly because it does facilitate Cap's big speech.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad that we get that moment. And I can forgive Carly getting killed off because it gets us to the speech. And
yeah, I mean, I definitely think if they had left Carly alive, because like there's a version of this where they leave Carly alive and Sam like brings her up and is like, hey, look at what she was willing to do. Like gives the same speech with her standing there.
yeah.
And I mean this in the worst possible way. It would be very un-American for them to not shoot her on sight.
Yeah.
I mean that
You're
in the
not wrong.
actual worst way. But like,
I don't disagree with you.
So I think they handled that as well as they could. As for Sharon, I'm kind of indifferent. I don't really care.
So ever since Captain Marvel, we all knew this would become a part of the MCU discourse. And with Secret Invasion on the horizon, even more so now, I think this is the beginning of the whom may be a Skrull conversation. And I think an argument can be made that Sharon is a Skrull. Part of that is this seems remarkably out of character for her, period.
Yeah. Yeah.
B, she
Go ahead.
seemed a little too afraid to go to a hospital. When you know that pardon's coming, when you know that they're going to treat you no matter what, like you come in bleeding from a gunshot wound, they're going to stitch you up. And then if you get arrested after that, it's pointless because you bullshit your way out of it. Who brought you here? Captain fucking America brought me here. Next. Like, she seemed a little too spooked, and also you can maybe make an argument that the only reason she survived the gunshot wound is because she's a Skrull. I am making my first official
What? Okay.
What does that mean?
He was saying we were okay, so like we didn't lose the show, but I don't know what's happening over there.
Why is he okay? Anyway,
Did
are
he
we
take
still
a phone
recording?
call? Yeah, we're still recording.
Oh, okay. Well,
I just double checked to make sure that Sharon has never been the power broker. And what? Why is he counting? What?
why?
And we're back.
Were we not on?
No, we were. You guys weren't. What happened was from the moment I stopped talking there for a second, the whole show's fine. Like literally just for that
Yeah.
minute there.
Yeah,
It was the
but,
thing where like Potato
What
throws up
happened?
the we're at that ad that like
Oh,
resets itself every like 3 to 5 hours.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I have
but
no
sure.
clue.
Voice Meter does a weird thing where it's like shuts itself off and goes, "Hey, have you considered donating to our page?"
Okay.
But regardless,
Well,
what the hell
Well,
was I
that was
saying?
happening. I looked to make sure that she's never been the power broker in the comics
Yeah.
because I don't know enough about her as a character to know that. And she has not been, according to this. So I'm going to just assume that you're onto something with the scroll
I
thing.
hope so.
I thought it was weird they specifically, like, she kept trying to cover the wound and not show that she was bleeding, right?
Could be green. Could be green. In fact, you know what? I'm going to make a new document right now in our Google Drive. And I'm
But
going to
okay,
title it.
so but she still would have to go to the hospital. Like that's where Bucky took her, right?
No, they
Well,
never
how
took her to
much-
the hospital.
But he said, "Let's get you to a hospital."
And then she still refused it. They still didn't go. I think she was like,
Where
I can
did they
take care of
go
it myself.
then? I don't remember that. I thought he took her.
No, because they have that talk. Bucky and she might walk away, and then that's when they're like, "Hey, Cap, can you lend us a hand? The other flag smashers in the bay."
Yeah.
And then we don't see her after that.
Okay, because I assumed that she went to the hospital.
Nope.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that because
So yeah,
I don't believe you.
we are making okay, so in the notes now, we have the official Teen App Scroll tracker. And number one name on this list, Sharon Carter. We're going to keep an official tally to see how many people end up being Skrulls. And we'll see how many we get right in the future. But yeah, no, I don't like. So here's my thing. I dislike Sharon being the power broker if it's not a Skrull.
But yes.
If it's a Skrull, I think that's a really cool idea. Because I like the idea that whatever Skrull came down and like hijacked Sharon's life kind of did the calculus of like this main, like, because like they don't know her personally, so they wouldn't quite understand why morally, ethically, personally, that is such a weird decision for Sharon, right? But the access that an ex-SHIELD agent, ex-special agent, ex-spy, all these things would have so many contacts and have the power and influence and name cachet to be able to assume the position of the power broker and establish all the connections that she has. So I like the idea that a Skrull would have taken advantage of that situation and used everything that Sharon has at her disposal to do it. Could Sharon do everything that she did here? Yes. Would she is a different question. And that is why I'm staking her as my first Skrull.
We are staking her as our.
We're all committing to it. All right. I'm going to tag everyone's
I am
name on it
doing it.
then.
Yeah, the more
I'm-
you talk about it, the more I'm getting convinced. I'm going to be honest. Also, Bucky walks her away, but they do not go to the EMTs. And I'm assuming they just go to patch her up separately. But also then he would, I don't know.
Because he said hospital, not to the EMTs.
But they don't.
That's why I'm confused, because they said we need to get you to a hospital. And so I thought they left to go to the hospital.
Yeah, I think Travis, if I'm remembering correctly, I think Travis is right, though, that like while they're still having that conversation, they cut to, like he said, them asking Sam about that leftover flag smasher.
Yes, but that doesn't mean they didn't go.
It doesn't mean they didn't go, but that means that they didn't show us her going, which is all the plausible deniability the writers need to be like, she didn't go. So
I just didn't think it was like needed to be shown, you know?
Yeah.
Like they make a point of Bucky walking her away. I have it up right now. That's why I was muted.
Oh, okay. But yeah. While we're talking Skrulls in the show, how do we feel about Val?
I liked her energy at first when they first showed her, but now I'm just annoyed by her. And she was barely in this episode.
So, okay, I want to talk about the what I was thinking about the Dark Avengers and the Thunderbolts. So, in my opinion, one of the coolest teams in the Marvel mythos. Ooh. Okay.
Mythos?
I got confused whenever your thing disappeared and I got tongue-tied. I thought the show was about to catch on fire, so then I started to shit.
No, I was getting something to cuddle.
Ah, I see. Hello, big man. In the Marvel mythos, the Thunderbolts is probably one of my favorites, just sheer concept. Kind of like the Marvel version of the Suicide Squad. Thunderbolt Ross, the general who's normally the biggest thorn in the side of the Hulk. Kind of, Suicide Squad style, loans out a bunch of villains to make up a team. And a lot of the Thunderbolts have also become members of the Dark Avengers, which was a team formed by Norman Osborn in the wake of Civil War, while there wasn't a standing team of Avengers. I would like Walker to become one of the first members of either versions of those teams. And now that we know about this Sony deal and the fact that it feels like Sony and Disney are getting even more cozy, I feel like the ability to theorize about Spider-Man characters showing up in this kind of stuff became an actual potential thing. And if they are not going to keep going with this rule of trilogies and we're going to keep getting Spider-Man movies, I feel like it's only a matter of time until Green Goblin shows up. And if Norman Osborn is on the board, that's an actual chance at the Dark Avengers. And the Dark Avengers Captain America could very well be U.S. Agent. Recently, U.S. Agent has been a leader of the Thunderbolts as well. And the way that Val, etc., has been talking to Walker, it sounds like she's building a team. It sounds like she's like a morally gray to lawful evil Nick Fury in a way. And I feel like we might be getting the Thunderbolts. Also, Baron Zemo has been a part of, I think, both the Thunderbolts and the Dark Avengers. Definitely right. Thunderbolts, maybe not the Dark Avengers, but I feel like that's where this is going, and I really want that to be the case. Because right now you could do the Dark Avengers with the villains we still have alive. You got Walker, you got Zemo, Abomination is still kicking around from Incredible Hulk. He's not dead. And again, this is rampant speculation. Throw Osborn in there, Iron Patriot from Iron Man 3. That moniker was originally used by Osborn. because they didn't have a one-to-one Iron Man or Captain America, and Norman Osborn, being the attention hog that he is, was like, I'll be both for my Avengers team. So for a while, he retired the Green Goblin and became the Iron Patriot with the red, white, and blue Iron Man armor. I'm just saying, that's what I would really like to see. Lexi, are you trying to like get my attention with the lion shaking, or are you just okay?
No, we were nodding.
Oh, okay. Because I saw your
not...
hand come up for a second, and I thought you were raising your hand. I apologize.
No, I was fixing.
Right.
Come
here, buddy. There you go.
Y'all just gotta copy me.
Yeah,
I know. Listen, he got plat, and then I felt lonely. Listen, if Travis had come over today, I'd be just holding him on my lap. Yeah, I absolutely love this episode, save for those couple things, but I think that the power broker bit can be explained away with some finesse. Now, real quick.
So also, there is
Yes.
like a quick shot right before they start talking of her, like, she has those gauze over where she got shot, and she kind of lifts them to look and then puts them back as they come over, and you don't see. And that's why I kept having to go back and look, because like there's a screen flare, screen flare, and there's the flashing lights from the police and the ambulance, and like you can't tell, but it doesn't look like you see any blood on it. So,
Well,
absolute scroll that woman is.
So another question. Now that we've talked about her a little bit, and now that I have the name in front of me so I don't mess it up, Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. Do we think she's a Skrull? Because she is a Skrull at the beginning of the Secret Invasion storyline in the comics, but also she could very well be real here, and just building some form of Dark Avengers could potentially be her taking up the Madam Hydra title, which she did in the comics as well. Or both. But all of the above could also be true. Because we're clearly getting into that weird territory. Whoever was complaining about this show not being weird enough, you're going to get your weird quota very fucking soon. So, Travis, vote. Is Val a Skrull?
I'm going to put myself in the neutral column because I have no idea.
All right. Are we going to call Val a Skrull? Lexi.
Did you guys hear that?
No, I don't think.
I can still hear somebody's car radio in my room.
No, we can't hear shit. I can, at least.
I don't think
I heard them up at the stop sign. That is like several hundred feet from my house. Turn your shit down.
I don't know. So she was one in the comics.
She kicks off the Secret Invasion story. Like, she's the first Skrull that Fury discovers.
I don't know. I'm having a hard time deciding because, like, maybe instead they made Carter the Skrull and not her, or they're both Skrulls, or I don't. We'll say yes for now.
Okay. I'm going to join you in that. So, stay.
So I'm like outside.
All right. Either of you have any final thoughts on this episode?
I'm hungry.
Okay.
Also hungry. But unfortunately, I can't have your mom's cooking. I'm in State College, Pennsylvania. But, great show. I love that these Disney Plus shows now, Marvel ones, are making me care more about the side characters that aren't Iron Man and Captain America and Black Widow and blah blah blah. Like, I have a new appreciation for them. I really like Bucky. Sam is a great Captain America. Like, it's weird not seeing Chris Evans. You know, it is really weird. But he's a great fit, and I'm proud of what they're doing with this. And they're doing the right thing with this. And a lot of kids are going to be very happy, and that's what makes me happy. So,
It's my favorite part of all of this every time. Is that's makes me happy. Yeah, expect a season review next week. Maybe Spencer will be on.
Hopefully.
I know he said he's been fiending to be on for this stuff, but hasn't been able to. But I think he's going to be on for the season review. So look forward to the biggest Cap fan out of any of us. That's his boy. So I look forward to hearing what Spencer thinks about everything. But yeah, that's them's the yams for this week. Lexi, where can the lovely people find you, my friend?
Finishing up all of my work here at Penn State, on Twitter at Lexi Lion 98. You see the resemblance. And Instagram at Acapella 98. Travis and Platt. Donde?
You can find me on Twitter and
Donde.
Instagram at Travis Political. And on Twitch at BlackLeader439, where I'm playing Assassin's Creed 2, probably for the last time on Wednesday. Probably. Maybe. We'll see. Jarod.
Yes.
Burp.
You guys are fine. What's that? You want to redistribute the means of production and eat the rich? I raised you right. You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DarkJedi2552, and you can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on our website, www.thenerdacademypodcast.com, where if you're feeling generous, you can donate to our Patreon page. Speaking of our patrons, thank you to our $10 alumnus, Case and Brion, the Waffle Wizard, Delta 9, and Zach Knaus. You guys help us make the content that we love to produce. Be sure to consider the $5 tier where you get access to the Knights of the Nerd Republic Versus series. April was the Grand Inquisitor versus Executor Cedrus. May will be Mara Jade versus Galen Merrick. And you can also get the Heroic History 101, which Travis and I will hopefully have done soon-ish, maybe, hopefully. We suck. And the audio commentaries that tie in to Nerd Academy Movie Club. Be sure to check out the student store link on our website to get access to our TeePublic, where you can check out all manner of Nerd Academy merch and goodies. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, do all those thingies, I guess. And thank you all so very much for watching or listening or wherever you're tuning in from. And class dismissed.